Hey friends, welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to talk about DPDR and the symptoms, what they are and what they mean, and also some misconceptions that you might have around the symptoms. And for all of those who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Dan and I help people overcome their DPDR and their symptoms. And for all my subscribers, welcome back. In my opinion, there's two types of symptoms. There's physical ones and there's mental ones. So physical ones are ones that you can feel in your body, and mental ones are ones that happen in your head. And some examples of common mental ones are things like catastrophizing, which is always thinking the worst, having racing thoughts, having intrusive thoughts, having brain fog, having memory issues. And some of the more common physical ones are things like panic attacks, heart palpitations, having tingling in your fingers. In truth, there are so many symptoms that it's impossible for me to list them all here, but I have seen an awful lot when I'm working with clients, helping them with coaching through their recovery journey. And so you might be wondering, well, look, how can anxiety cause me just to feel like I've got tingling in my fingers, or I can't even feel my limbs? And the reason is it's because your nervous system is very sensitized right now. It's basically out of whack. It's out of equilibrium. So there's two parts to our nervous system. There's the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic is the one that we can't control. And it's a bit of a weird name because often we think of sympathetic as sympathy, but the way that you can sort of look at it with your nervous system is that the sympathetic nervous system is sympathetic to what you're feeling. So if you're feeling really anxious and scared, then it's going to sympathize with that and do what it does. And the sympathetic part of us is the part that we actually have no control over. It's the fight, flight, or freeze response. And all of these things happen without us even knowing. And then on the other side, there's the parasympathetic nervous system, which basically which we have control over. It's voluntary. So we can, breathe, we can move our fingers, we can move our hands, all that type of stuff. So for example, if you do feel anxious, then some of the natural responses to that for your body to prepare for this threat that it feels is about to come on is for your heart to start racing a little bit quicker, to get the blood pumping quicker in case you want to run away or fight. Or it's going to increase your breathing as well. It's going to make your hearing sharper. Basically, it's going to release adrenaline into your body, which comes from all the nerves in your body, and it's really just prepping you for action. And so that's where the physical symptoms come from. It comes from that. And the mental symptoms are obviously created in your mind, and this is a different thing. Right now, your mind is thoroughly engulfed in trying to figure all this stuff out. It's seeing threats everywhere. It's trying to ask the question of perhaps, why did I get into this? It's also asking, how do I get out of this? It's also asking, what do all these symptoms mean? And what do I do? And I wish I could be the person that I used to be, and everything else. And you know what? This all adds up over time. We're not designed to think about this stuff all the time. And so that compounding effect is going to have the natural effect of making you have memory issues and making you catastrophize. It's because you've sort of inadvertently trained yourself to do this. So in other words, you didn't want this to happen, you didn't plan for it, but it's just happened and this is where you are. And so is it any wonder, with all that going on in your mind, that things like enjoying your day or all these things are not really functioning at their full capacity? The brain only has a certain amount of energy that it can use to process all this stuff. And so it's processing all the things which it thinks is important, and everything it doesn't think is important is just taking a bit of a back burner. And so what's the misconception with DPDR and the symptoms? So with DPDR, a lot of people think that the symptoms are from DPDR, and that's not actually the case. The symptoms are from anxiety. So heart palpitations are a symptom of anxiety. DPDR is a symptom of anxiety. Intrusive thoughts is a symptom of anxiety. Catastrophizing is a symptom of anxiety. All this other type of thing. So a lot of people think that, oh, I've got DPDR and it's given me all these symptoms. It's not actually the case. You've got anxiety, which is giving you DPDR and all these other symptoms as well. And that actually is really good news for you. Now, hear me out before you think, what the heck am I saying? It's because Anxiety is a collection of thoughts and behaviors. It's not just a single thing. It's a collection of all these little things that you're doing, which is bringing about the state of you being anxious. And so the amazing thing is that once you start to pick apart all of this stuff, and once you start to deny anxiety, the thing that it needs to survive, then it's going to reduce and it's going to starve and it's going to die off, and all of the symptoms are going to die along with it. So I understand that the symptoms are really challenging for you, and they were for me when I was going through it. I fighted them and I resisted them and I hated them. But once I changed my attitude towards it, then I started to see improvements until I got to the point of full recovery. And the way out of this is to reduce your anxiety. And if you need help with your anxiety and your symptoms, then I can help you. I've got a lot of experience helping people just like you get from non-recovery to recovery and on the path to recovery. And if you are interested in having a chat, then you can book a free discovery call. It's completely free and there's no obligations whatsoever. The link for that is in a pinned comment and a description. So if you are interested in that, then I'd be happy to chat with you. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.